All right, my favorite part. So the amortization schedule. An insurance firm pays $4,000 for a new printer for its computer. It amortizes the loan for the printer in 4 annual payments at 8% interest. Construct an amortization schedule showing the first 4 payments. Okay, so if I write down the pieces, this is 4,000, and this is our last example. Yeah, this is our last example, so you can kind of see how it works. Your rate is 8%. Okay. It says annual payments. So M is going to be 1, which I'm glad because of the thing here. And looks like 4 annual payments, so that's 4 years. 4,000, 8%, 4 years. Yep. Okay, so your I is going to be R over M. %8 is 0.08, right? Divided by 1. Yay! It stays. It stays. That says, here we go. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. Divided by 1. And then your N is M times T. So that's going to be 1 times 4. So that's going to be 4 because we're doing it for 4 years. So same thing that we've been doing this whole time. The payment formula, present value times I divided by 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative N. When you do that, you plug it in, you get a payment of $1,207.68. Remember, your payment doesn't change for the life of the loan. We're just going to do the first four payments for this. Since there's only 4 annual payments, it works out. So we're just going to do 4. So it's great. But that payment will stay the same for the life of the loan. So now when you fill out the amortization schedule, you want to show, okay, here's my payment. How much of the payment, so you're going to have your payment. I'll do this in blue, right? So you're going to have your payment. And then you're going to show how much of the payment went to interest. And then you're going to show how much of the payment went to the principal. And then you're going to show that after you make the payment to the principal, you're going to show that the new, I'll just say the new ending balance at end of each year. Okay, so you're always going to start with a payment. You're always going to start with the payment. When you make a payment, some's going to go to the interest and the some's going to go to the principal. Whatever goes to the principal, you're going to take that and subtract it from what you started with. And then that's going to show you your new ending balance for that year. So every year you're going to make a payment. I made a payment. This amount went to interest. This amount went to principal. This is what my remaining balance is. Year 2, I made another payment. This amount went to principal. This amount went to interest. This amount went to principal. Here's my ending balance. And you're going to keep going through. So let's take a look at year 1. So in year 1, you make a payment, right? You're going to have your payment is always $1,207.68. Okay. Yeah. Your payment is always $1,207.68. You're going to make a payment in the first year. Now, you want to calculate the, when you make that payment, you want to say, okay, how much of that payment is going to go to interest? Well, you have to figure out, well, how much interest do I need to pay on this particular loan? When you're looking for interest, don't forget that because we're doing a year at a time, don't forget about this formula. Remember, I equals PV times R times T? Well, you're like, oh, but that's the simple interest formula. We're not doing simple interest. We're actually doing an annuity type payment, which is compound interest. Totally fine. One plus I to the T. So remember, that's the formula for compound interest. Now, remember that your compounding periods is 1. So everything's over 1. So when you're looking for the amount of interest paid, I won't even use this. Okay, let me not confuse you. Because I don't want to draw it out. Your interest is always your present value times your rate times your time. That's how it's going to work out. I was going to do like future value, present value, but I don't want to create more work. Because it's an annual, because it's a single year, you can use interest equals I equals PVRT. That's the whole purpose of simple interest, is because you're calculating the interest for that 1 year. This covers the 1 year. So for your year 1, you're going to take 4,000 times 0.08, which is the rate, times 1, because it's 1 year. So after you say, okay, this is how much interest I have to pay on the 4,000, now you need to say, okay, whatever's left over of my payment, 1,207.68, I'm going to subtract the $320 that goes to interest. When I subtract the payment from the interest, this is how much is going to the principal. Okay, because the financial institution is going to get their money. I hope that makes sense. And then your ending balance is 4,000 minus only what was paid to the principal. You don't get to subtract what went to the interest, because that goes to the financial institution. What goes to the principal is what you paid to the principal. Okay, so then this is your new balance at the end of year 1. So at the end of year 1, this was my balance. So now when we jump to year 2, you're not going to start at 4,000. You're going to start at 3,112.32. Okay, because that is your new principal. You made a payment. This amount went to interest. This amount went to principal. Subtract that from your principal. This is your new principal. This is what you owe right now. Okay, this is what you owe right now. So that's your principal. You're going to make another payment. Of this principal amount, how much needs to go to the interest? Take that times 0.08 times 1. Why can we do this? Because we're calculating the interest just for that 1 year. Okay, just the interest for that 1 year. This formula works because it's 1 year. And then when you find that, you get $248.99. $248.99, you're going to subtract that from your payment. What I'm doing here is I'm keeping all the decimal places so that I can limit the rounding error. When I show you the final amount, it's the rounded amount. But as you work through the problems, keep the decimal places. So when you take 3,112.32 times 0.08, you actually get this full number. So if you get in the habit of keeping all the decimal places, only round when you enter your answer. Okay? So I hope you're with me. At any point, leave a question in the comments if I'm losing you here, so we can go. I want to make sure I don't lose you. So I made my payment. I'm going to subtract the amount that goes to the interest. Once I subtract the amount that goes to the interest, I'm left with the amount that goes to the principal. And then I take what I had, at the beginning, subtract. Notice I'm keeping all the decimal places. I subtract what went to the principal, and now my new ending balance is $2,153.63. So far, so good. Okay, now let's go to year 3. This is going to be my starting value for year 3. Okay, 2,153. Now, I kept all the decimal places. When you enter your answers, you can round. But as you're going through the schedule, to limit the rounding error, keep as many decimal places as you can. I try to say 8. Just with the math, these are the decimal places that I had, okay? So, all right, that's my principal. I'm making a payment. Notice the payments don't change. Your payment is the same for the life of the loan. Calculate the interest on this amount, keeping all the decimal places. I get 172.29. If that went to the interest, take the payment minus that so I know how much went to the principal. Notice that the payments going to the principal is getting higher, which is good. That's what you want. You want the principal to come down. Then my ending balance is what I started with minus what went to the principal. You don't get to subtract what goes to the interest because that's not yours. That goes to the financial institution. That's how they make their money. You only get to subtract what you paid towards the principal. The rest goes to the financial institution. So I'm left with $1,118.24. Now, my payment is more than what I owe. We don't want that. So it looks like we're going to have to make an adjustment, which that's okay. So let's keep going. You still have to make the payment because the financial institution has to get their interest. You owe them the interest. So you'll still make a payment. They'll just make an adjustment so that you don't end up, paying more towards the principal, because you only want to pay what you owe, but they're going to make sure they get their money too. Okay, so let me show you. So on year 4, I'm keeping all the decimal places, okay, just so that I limit my rounding errors. This was my principal. My payment is more than what I owe, but I still got to make the payment because that's what my loan said. That's the payment I have to make, and then I still have to pay them the interest. So take the principal times 0.08, and this is how much they get in interest. I still have to pay them that, okay, out of this payment. So now, if I take my payment and I minus the 89.46, I'm left with $1,118.22 as my principal. Okay, that's how much I have left to pay, supposedly, or that's how much that's going to go towards my principal. That's what I owed. That's what goes on it. So notice, see, there's some rounding differences. That's okay. And then when I take what the balance was and I minus that's 2 cents. You shouldn't owe 2 cents because I'm paying the full $1,118. I gave you $1,207. I gave you more than what I'm supposed to give you. Now, again, they're going to get their interest. So now we need to make an adjustment to the payment so that we don't end up paying more. So year 4, y'all see that? We ended up with 2 cents. It should be 0. So we're going to adjust the payment. And this is what the financial institution would do behind the scenes. They would adjust it, and then you would see it on your schedule to say, hey, your last payment is actually going to be a little higher to make sure that we get our interest and you don't pay more than the principal. Okay, because remember, of every payment, there's going to be an amount that goes to the interest. There's always a certain amount that goes to the interest. They're going to get their interest, and then they'll make an adjustment. So here's what happened. We're going to make this payment. Of this payment, $89.46 is going to go to the financial institution. It left me with the principal payment that went to the principal of $1,118.22. I was short 2 cents, right? So they're like, okay, let's adjust this payment so that nobody owes anything and we can close out the loan. So you're going to adjust your year 4 payment. That 2 cents, the financial institution is going to add it to your payment. So your last payment is actually going to be $1,207.70. Why? Because when we subtract our interest, we want to make sure that whatever you have left over is going to cover what you're supposed to cover and not anything more or anything less. So we adjusted your payment. We added the 2 cents to it. We subtracted what we get, the $89.46. That leaves you with the $1,118.24. And when you subtract that, right, you have 0. Okay. So if you were to go through and use the remaining balance formula, you would see differences too because of the rounding. But the final payments are going to be adjusted if there has to be, because there's always going to be some type of rounding where you have to compensate for it. So it's going to be adjusted. So I hope you go back and look at these or look at this, rewind this so you can see how we went through all the payments, how we kept the decimal places, where we had to make an adjustment. All right. So this is what the amortization schedule looks like. It matches everything we had, okay? What you started with, your payment, how much goes to interest, how much goes to principal, your new balance. You make another payment, interest, principal, new balance. You make another payment, interest, principal, new balance. You make another payment, interest, principal. See how these match? You want them to match and then say, okay, you're done paying off the loan. That's your goal. That's your goal. And notice that you paid more in interest to start. You paid less in principal, but you ended up paying more. That's how it worked. Normally at the beginning of the loans, you'll pay more and then you'll pay less in principal and higher, unless you double up our payments and add extra payments, that type of thing. Okay.